Namaskar. This morning we are going to talk about freedom as usual, but how do we discover that state of freedom? Because freedom already exists. It is what we create by our actions is the bondage, and that gives an impression that freedom doesn't exist. In effect, freedom already is. We are, by our practices, by our various ways, thinking patterns, create a hindrance for the cognizance of that pre existing freedom. That is what we will see. I am yet to find a person or a living organism or an animal who doesn't desire freedom. But freedom we ourselves give up because being committed, being tied, being subservient gives a sense of, I would say, freedom, as an assurance of all the essential elements required for survival will be provided. Moreover, it is the laziness and non-willingness to strive for or to work for the basic needs, and that is why we get tied down. We experience a sense of subservience from the other. And this is the reason our unwillingness to work, our unwillingness to pay the price for what we want. It is this which then motivates us, drives us to strike a relationship, to strike a bond, which is based on mutual exploitation. I exploit you, you exploit me. Both cater for each other's requirements. And this mutual exploitation is happening everywhere. If the mutual exploitation ends, the freedom exists, because we present ourselves to be exploited just because we want an easy way out. So what we do, we resort to various things like love. Love towards, love for, and not universal love. There's a difference between the two. Then, in the name of culture, religion, traditions, social practices, morality, emotions, and so on. The list is endless. We keep exploiting or keep getting exploited. This is how we forge the bonds, the relationships in this world. And with each passing experience, the freedom seems that much more elusive. Now, the point is then what to do? It is knowing, knowledge. Knowledge is freedom. And dependence is bondage. A very simple thing. As a human, the first and the basic requirement is for survival. When I am able to cater to my own survival needs, that Maslow's theory, physical, then psychological, and all those things, those 5 things, only when I am able to cater for my survival needs would I think of the other, which means my food, my housing, roti, kapda, makan, and of course medical also these days. When these are done, I can think of something. Now, after these are assured, also one more thing. If I do not depend on my spouse for catering to my basic needs, that is to say, I am able to cook on a daily basis, cook my food, clean the utensils, wash the clothes, clean the room and the surroundings. I am able to do gardening and other things. This will take care of my needs, my basic needs. I will be able to survive and survive with dignity, being an asset and not a liability. That is to say, asset for my own self and asset for the spouse as well. It is this insecurity which makes us control in various ways our spouse. It is this dependence that changes the texture of love. Love, instead of granting freedom, liberation, freedom to think, freedom to act, becomes a binding, a compulsion. No, you have to do this. If you do this, or if you don't do this, what will happen to me? See, these things will come up, and therefore a person becomes exploitative in every relationship. On the contrary, if he is able to take care of his own basic needs, he would be able to grant, rather not be a hindrance in the freedom or exploration for freedom of the spouse or the next person. So this is how the knowledge would be liberating. The dependence for our own basic survival would be creating a bondage. Therefore, it would be wise to, as far as possible, do your own work yourself. and keep on increasing. Once you are retired, then everything that you need, you should do on your own. You would be an asset to the family as well as an asset to yourself, and that much more closer to experience freedom. Please think about it. Thank you.